Many are the uses of solar power. If you have installed it in your home or in your business, did you know that you can save a lot of money, especially on monthly bills that you normally spend on electricity? Now, for many cases, you find that people who use it for security systems such as CCTV or even access systems, they will definitely protect their business as well as their family property. As an electrical technician, we advocate that when you install these systems, ensure that you take care of the simple features when it comes to this system. Why? Because a simple mistake could render the entire system useless. Because when it comes to the inverter connections, the battery connections, you must be very careful. Every time that you connect the solar panels to the inverter, you must be very keen when connecting the voltages, because if they don't match with the system, then you will land into trouble. In many cases, you find that an electrician is contracted to install a system that the customer has purchased with a lot of money. You must be very careful because a simple damage, a simple mistake could lead to a lot of money wastages or losses. Today, we will be covering the mistakes that are common, especially with this system. When you understand these common mistakes, you will definitely become a pro and avoid them. And you will always install these systems with confidence at your customers' premises. Top bosses, if you are ready for this value, smash that like button. And if you are not subscribed to our channel, subscribe so that you don't miss any of the episodes that we share. Common mistakes that people commit when it comes to inverter connection is that they reverse the polarity. That is the first common mistake committed by installers when installing inverters. So if you are installing the 1 kVA inverter or even more, ensure that the polarity is connected properly. So this is negative, or this is minus. I am connecting it to the DC minus. Okay, DC minus. So that is what we have right there. This is positive, goes directly to the battery positive. So we connect right there. Ensure that we insert all the way. That those cables must be lugged. Now, we will definitely be lugging them so that it is not just cables. So that is what we have. We'll lug it. So in the meantime, we will connect it for demonstration purposes. Don't try this at home, especially if you are not a licensed technician. This stream, as well as the videos that we create here at Top Heights Electricals and Electricians, are for general purposes only. Do not attempt to do this or implement it in your projects or at home or any person's business. We shall not be liable for any dangers that will emanate from these type of video lessons. So we have already connected the positive and the negative. Okay. So from there, we want to connect the battery. So these cables, we have the positive, which is blue, going here, and the negative, which is black, going all the way right there. So we go ahead and use these connections right here. And what we'll do is take the black cable to that. So we start with the black, and then we ensure that we tighten it before anything else. Before we connect the positive, remember we have to ensure that it is very, very tight. So that is what we do. So that when you connect the positive, we also ensure that we tighten it. In many cases, you find that when you place it right there, there will be a spark. So to avoid any injury, we ensure that connect it like so, hold it to the terminal, and then we can screw our bolt all the way down. So the first mistake that we have said is interchanging the connection. Positive, you connect to negative, and negative to positive. That definitely can damage the inverter. Another mistake that people commit when it comes to installation of an inverter is using undersized cables. For instance, if you decide to use very low size or very small sized cables, if you decide to use 2.5 for these battery cables, they will overheat. Why? Because the current exchange between the inverter and the battery is usually very high. You can see that we have a 12 volts battery, and the current that we are talking about here is 200 amp hours, right? So in 1 hour, this battery can give out 200 amperes. So that is a very high current. You must ensure that you are very keen. Now, my top boss mistake number 3 is using the wrong cables. For instance, I've been fighting a lot with many electricians whereby they prefer to use these cables, which are AC cables, instead of using these cables, which are referred to as PV cables. These are the correct cables to be connected from the solar panels to either the inverter or the charge controller. These are referred to as PV cables. These are referred to as AC cables. The reason why many electricians insist on connecting this one from the solar panels to the inverter or the charge controller is beyond my comprehension. You should not use this as DC. We are supplying high currents at low voltage. That is why you find that a solar panel which is rated 12 volts can actually be supplying 10 amperes, whereas a cable such as this one can be supplying 240 volts at one current, at 1 amperes of current only. So that is why we need to be very, very keen when it comes to selection of cables. Another mistake that people commit, which is number 4, is definitely when sizing up this system, they use the wrong voltage from the battery. If this is supposed to be a 12 volt inverter, don't connect a 24 volt inverter, because this inverter is indicated on the side. It is a 12 volt DC system, or the system voltage should be 12 VDC. That means 12 volt DC. And another mistake that people also commit, like we have said, is wrong connection. If you are supposed to start disconnecting the battery or start connecting, if you are supposed to start disconnect the PV, you do it the other way, and therefore it means that it will be damaged. Mistake number 5 is definitely overloading the inverter. If you overload it, you will definitely have issues. All right. So those are the 5 mistakes when it comes to inverter connections or solar power wiring.